Welcome back, surf fans, to the 2016 Hawaiian Pro, the first stop on the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing. We got 4 young upstart rookie threats to the Vans Triple Crown here. Wait, actually, Kelly Slater's in this heat. Ross Williams, are you kidding me? Look at this matchup. We've got Kelly Slater, who is nearing 45 years old, going up against Ian Gouveia, Samuel Pupo, and Deivid Silva, who are all still in their teens. We're going to start with Gouveia. And he goes to a nice backside floater. And when I think of Gouveia, I just think of the word solid. Now you look at him, he's like a little human cannonball.
He is. He's definitely solid. And a famous father in Fabio Gouveia. And during the break, that is the bald, wise one, Kelly Slater. And as you mentioned, he could be Samuel Pupo's grandfather in this heat. And here he is ripping. And the key to success for Kelly is still competitive, Chris. I think that's the main thing. We always talk about how he's kept his body in shape and he's healthy, but he's got the drive. That really is the main focus for Kelly and what really allows him to throw a jersey on and care. And out the back, this is Deivid Silva. These guys have drifted a little bit towards the peaks section, which is deeper at Haleiwa. Typically you surf when it gets quite a bit smaller. But just competing, Chris. They're trying to stay busy and catch a couple of waves. I'm liking the flow from Kelly. A couple of okay snaps there from Ian Gouveia. So a lukewarm start, but everyone looking pretty aggro.
And live action, Samuel Pupo, the standout the previous 2 days of competition. 16 years old, from Brazil, QS rank 82. And that tells me that he is going to have a quick climb after this event. And right behind him, Deivid Silva, giant snap. It's right back into the lip. He is lightning fast. Right behind him, Kelly Slater, 11-time world champion. Quick, hard carving snap straight up into the pocket. And when you see Kelly's trajectory begin, you can't help but just raise up in your seat. And there's that competitive fire. I like what you said, Ross. He cares. In fact, he revels in beating, you know, the youngsters.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is one of my favorite waves of the contest. That was brutally powerful right there, that first turn. Great flow into that little snap into the whitewash, and this turn even a little edgier, hawking his tail, getting some fin release. So right on. Mr. Slater looking fired up. Always a conversation is, how does the board look? No question marks there. The board looks really fast, loose. He's able to get a lot of rail in the water, so completely switched on. That has to be an excellent score, in my opinion. And as you mentioned, Samuel Pupo, 80th on the QS. Was it 80th, right around there?
82, yeah.
82, which is good. You know, I think that's, for a 16-year-old to be all of a sudden in a top 100 on a QS, that means he's all set for next year.
Weight class, Ian Gouveia, 5'6". We got 156. Deivid Silva, 5'6", 150. So even matchup when it comes to you know, size, power. You got to go with Gouveia, Slater, Silva.
Comfortability here is at a max.
Well, it shows, Keanu. Let's talk about your support squad. I noticed that you've been working with John Shimoka, former pro, someone with a similar kind of technique and actually bodybuild to yourself. Talk about working with Shmoo.
It's hard. He tries to steal all my boards.
I think his main focus in terms of keeping his seat on a CT tour will be pipeline, Chris. So definitely let's keep our eyes on Keanu Singh, the local boy, throughout this Triple Crown.
19 minutes, 45 seconds ago, Slater's last wave comes through. It is a 9. Ross, you said it was going to be in that excellent range. Absolutely was. Here goes Samuel Pupo, straight up in the lip. World's longest floater. As he gets back onto the open face, a lot of distance, not a lot of maneuvers. Samuel Pupo will have to get back out there. Kelly Slater now fighting the Haleiwa soup. Bam! Straight onto the open face. That is why there is a statue made in this man's image. It's turns like that. Unmistakable Kelly Slater turn right there.
Another favorite surf spot of Mr. Kelly Slater would be Soup Bowls in Barbados, which is very similar to what we're looking at right here. This looks like Soup Bowls right here. Kelly did great to hang on there. That's that tenacity, just refusing to fall. Nice little layback jam there for Kelly. This board is looking really fast. You know, these Slater design boards always have a lot of pop and speed within just a half a second's notice. So I think he's able to harness it. That's what looks so good right now. He seems to be in control. And Chris, you said the world's longest floater. I think Samuel Pupo, maybe even a little bit of a mistake. I might have irritated him. He wanted to come down so that he could hit the lip again.
So it's pretty interesting to look at kind of how the seeds will break down throughout the rest of this competition. Kelly Slater in the lead, his last wave, a 6.5. Beautiful deep bottom turn to the carving 360. He goes down. Now with priority, Silva. Powerful goofy footer. Waiting on this wave. Doing a nice backside snap. And second turn is a no-go. I feel like Silva's backhand has really been the reason he has climbed up so high in the rankings. Now Gouveia. Bam, beyond vertical. But now horizontal in the whitewater.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's injured, does he? Possibly buckled the board. That looks like it has maybe more rocker than it should, so he might have buckled his surfboard. Let's see if we can pinpoint it. Where did this wave go wrong for Deivid Silva? And a nice little hook right in the pocket, but caught a big old edge there, dug a rail. So it's possible his board got buckled when it was in that barrel. Famous 360 off the lip there from Kelly Slater, but those are really tough to do. Very easy to get stuck, and Kelly, rare do you see him get stuck, but he did. Quick equipment change here, and that paddle back out, Chris, is very short, so it's not going to be any real drama. It's the most unapologetic competitor you'll ever meet. He wants to beat them.
He's hassling Gouveia on an insider. Did you see the backhand in Gouveia? Just real smooth. Seemingly every turn goes vertical.
Like practicing and stuff. That's kind of rare for Kelly these days. A lot of times he shows up late to events and has brand new boards, but he's been dialing in really quick. He free surfed last night. He free surfed this morning. It's almost unheard of for Kelly. So he's fired up. It'd be rad to see him really compete for the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing this year. It's a great title, and Ian Gouveia, as you mentioned, smooth cat. Low to his board. And great technique there. He gets a lot of drive off those bottom turns. But not quite connecting the way he wanted to on those top turns. Nice closing re-entry right there, but Ian's still looking.
Samuel Pupo, 16 years old. Surfer from Brazil, opening up with a nice carve. Knows that he needs to get busy on this wave. That last wave, maybe a missed opportunity, as he's currently in 4th place. A lot of big carving maneuvers. One good snap up in the lip. Solid finish, blowing the tail into a reverse. Really had a big open canvas for him to work with, and he kind of bypassed the entire thing. Definitely got a lot more busy on this one.
Yeah, I think the keys to performing something exciting at Haleiwa is dropping to the bottom and grabbing yourself a nice deep bottom turn. It's tough to do because the wave's fast, and it feels like a bit of a haunted house out here. You just never know when there's going to be a crazy section right in your face, but this wave laid back for him. Kind of a cruisy wave.
Took the win at the Triple Crown. It's never been done that big of a spam. Pupo in white. He's in 2nd place. His last score comes through at a 7. Now he knows what needs to be done, and that's not it.
Well, it was kind of a funny wave. Actually, we're seeing a few of the competitors today sneak over to the Masters coming up and just being in the entire Triple Crown. I would say he's so inspired by John's world title. I think he really wants to win this thing.
Well, you can tell with each and every wave he gets, he is on a mission. Now goes Silva on his backhand. Laser sharp. Nose, tail, spray. That's the equation for Silva. Now Slater. Beautiful. Snap straight up from the lip. Quick airdrop. See how busy he is as he goes down the line. It somehow makes all that movement look perfect.
I think Kelly's biggest attributes is how competitive he is, how clutch he is. He never seems to buckle under pressure. And especially in the last 15 years of his career, I would say he's one of the most powerful surfers ever on a championship tour. He lays down some brutal turns. So a couple of nice ones right here, but this wave kind of tricky for Kelly. Really had to keep that speed up, so he couldn't really see that turn right there. It was nice, but it was more of a connection turn where he had to get back to the open face. So I don't think this will go into his top 2, but geez, board's looking really fast for Kelly. And David Silva, remember he upset Wilco in Brazil, did that big old air reverse in the CT, had a wild card over there. So he knows what it takes to, you know, take down a couple of big names on a CT.
So we know his backhand is that lethal. And he is taking it to Kelly right now. His last wave comes through a 7-1-7, so he's in second place, and he is right back at it. Kind of taking off in between the kind of 2 classic takeoff zones. 6, you know, 150, right in that range. That's a rivalry in the making. So you watch that develop. And here goes Silva now. That backhand, the back arm, kind of using it for stabilization. And he follows that front arm around in through his turns. Ian Gouveia holds first priority. Pupo with second priority. Gouveia is going to exercise his freedom of choice, and he goes straight into a nice backside snap. Got to get down the line on this wave. Nicely placed turn, straight up into the pocket. 3 savage backside hooks for Gouveia. Now Pupo, who's in third place, needs a 4-4-1. Got to get around this section. Up into the air. Clean frontside air, lands it, spins it around, gets the revert. Samuel Pupo signaling to the judges. Did you see that?
That's something that is a no-brainer if you're in Brazil or Huntington, where, yeah, 1 big air, sure, that's, you know, that's better than average surfing. But at Haleiwa, you know, it's going to put them in a weird place. How do they fit it into the scoreline? Nice little, that last turn from Ian Gouveia was solid. That should definitely, you know, be in a conversation for a 6.5 is what he needs. So, you know, just spending a lot of time getting around that whitewash for the first 50 yards here for Sam, and that's not going to bode well. The judges hate that. You know, they want to see you right in the face on the clean wall right away. So if he gets a 4.4, I'm gonna put myself out there and say, you know, I'm almost be a little bit surprised. It was a nice air. He did great to pull it off, but it wasn't really high. He didn't get too, you know, he didn't have that much projection up and over the lip. Oh.
So the 2 QS standouts at this point being bested by the rookie Samuel Pupo.
I'll tell you what, Chris, I'm comfortable with that score because I thought David Silva's 7.17 came to him a little too easy. So I don't mind that score at all.
Wow. 2 hard-charging Brazilians at the top of the QS rankings go down. Samuel Pupo, 16 years old, currently ranked 82nd on the QS. He will be making a quantum leap up in the rankings. Now Kelly Slater, he's finally ranked on the QS after a whole year. Kelly Slater, dominating performance, unsurprisingly taking the win.